Yes, we are live. We are live. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. There's nobody here yet. This is a sneak attack. I have my shows that I usually do at 3 p.m. Accra time, which is 10 a.m. East Coast time, but I had to bump it back a little bit. I didn't have a chance to even promote the show like I wanted to. I'm trying to get everybody into the habit of Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. to know that I'm going live. And if there is a glitch or there's some kind of holdback or delay, I will announce it in the community tab on my page, Lancescurv on YouTube. Lancescurv on YouTube. Yes, it's been very interesting last few days. It's a lot of things that are happening around us in our life. Oh, before I say any more, let me just say that if there's any blank out of this show, just give me maybe 60 seconds to get on the phone. And that's what I did the other day. And it worked out just fine. As a matter of fact, I prefer to do it that way. For those in the chat room, let me open the chat room right now. Let me find out. Yes, Enifin Shaka, how are you? Let me know if the sound is coming through clear. And remember, if this blanks out because of a power outage, because these guys here in Accra, in the area, they don't tell you like they do in America to say, hey, tomorrow between 11 o'clock and 3, we're going to be shutting the power off. So if there's anything that you need to do it around. They don't do that. They just show up, bang, and a whole several blocks will be knocked out. So someone asked me, are there that many power outages? Yeah, there are a lot. Little glitches in the system, and it should be better. Ghana gives so much electricity to other surrounding countries, and they have so much here, but they tend to not do good by their own here, right? Wow. Raymond Tench, how are you? Yes, thank you so much. Sister Oyala, bringing beauty into the room. I love you, sister. Thank you so much for being here. This is another freestyle. I had to push it back an hour. I woke up really late. You know, sometimes when you're sleeping, I go to bed late pretty much anyway. It wasn't so bad last night. My sleep was broken. Mrs. SCURV had to go up on the property and do some gardening and stuff like that. I woke up with her and went back to bed, but it was like if I was supposed to sleep 4 more hours, I ended up sleeping 6 more hours. That's the price you pay when you break your sleep, right? I just want to say how much appreciation I have for my dear buddy, my dear friend, my lifelong friend, Jack Griffin. Thank you for your advice. You know, you seem to be now my personal Howard Bingham. Inside joke. Not that I'm saying I'm Muhammad Ali. But anyway, today I wanted to put on the whole armor. I wanted to put on the show dealing with demonic entities, negative energy, whatever you want to call it, right? So I put a little illustration of something quite evil looking that has a sword. Now, while many may not believe or feel that this is the truth, no matter what the manifestation, the results and the desire of the negative energies around you are there. No matter what Jack Griffin. Yeah, I knew you'd be there, especially with this title. Let me just say to everybody, I am not trying to be somebody's pastor, somebody's reverend. I am not schooled in detail in theology. I never went to school for theology. The only similarity is the title of this show and the biblical verse that infers about putting on the whole armor of God. Now, let me just say, I'm not knocking God by not putting it on there, right? It's just that you only have but so much space on a banner. And when you have a long title, if I wrote the title out, the fonts would be smaller and it wouldn't be seen. When you have a banner, you have to pique the interest of those who are scrolling down the side of YouTube with other banners and shows competing with yours. So if you put it short or a short title or something different to pull them on in. I'm just explaining how I do. Now, here's another thing. We had a woman who came in the comment section yesterday, and she pretty much didn't like what I had to say on the stepdad show about the single mothers who use the stepdad as a backup retirement plan. I think I said about 50 times that this doesn't mean every single woman. It doesn't mean every single mother, right? Every single mother. It did not mean that. We were speaking about that specific slice of the population who are like that in the tricks that they use. By no means was I saying it was every single mother, because there are a lot of single mothers out here who are straight catches. You'd be blessed to have that single mother who might have several kids, who may have been married before and the father for some reason is deceased, or maybe she did make poor choices, but she got on her game and got on her feet. Kudos to those single mothers who hold it down, who are catches. But I have to speak from every angle when I speak on a particular topic. I can't bring my own feeling or my own perspectives to it and expect to get a full view of it. I always do add on my own view, but my view is not more important than everybody hearing a slice of what I feel may be a 360-degree view on the topic. Because like I said, if I speak about, let's just pick something. If I speak about transvestite midgets, cross-dressing midgets from Czechoslovakia, I don't know where that came from. You'll probably find something like that on a porn site. There'll be somebody with a fetish like that. But if I speak about that topic, there's 50, 60, 100, 200 different views on that. I don't mean views as far as count, perspectives, because we all have a proximity to different types of people in the world. Also, I want to speak to the gay community. I'm going to make a few announcements right now before we get into this topic. The mic is feeling kind of good. I'm getting the feedback. Got the headset on, so it sounds good. Let me know if there's any glitches. And again, if for some reason I blank out, that means there was some kind of power outage. Just give me a minute and a half to get back on the phone. I like that phone thing. Yesterday I was pacing and walking up and down. I'm like, man, I need to do this all the time. But anyway, the gay community. There's one guy that I need to pull up an email. Let me pull up an email here. Hold on. There's something else I need to show y'all. Y'all need to know my trials and tribulations of what I go through. And I'm a second from playing a voicemail that I had, but I do not violate anybody's privacy. And I know the young lady who sent me the voicemail would not mind me playing it, but I do not do that. You can trust me with everything. I don't do drama. I don't violate people unless you happen to be a child molester or somebody looking to do harm to somebody very soon. I'm like, yo, I need to let the world know this, because we can't have nothing happen bad, right? But I'm probably going to bring this young lady on the show and let her speak it herself, because I received a voicemail of more shenanigans going on here in Ghana, in Accra, from an American individual who I supported and promoted, and he's ripping people off, and I don't go for that. When you don't see somebody on this channel, it means that I do not deal with them anymore, and it's something that was discovered that is not too kosher, and I don't bother with them anymore. It could be something extreme, it could be something minor, but I've been out here a long time. I know I talk crazy and tell a lot of crazy stories and stuff like that, but I don't condone anybody ripping anybody off, okay? I'm just going to be brief with this. Be careful. And I have to find that video and take it down where I condone this individual, because there's still people that are coming toward him and giving him money, him and his wife. I don't like it. And if he don't like it, he can come meet me. But I know he's dirty that way. So people pay people to do things. So I stay out of it. Okay. One person a couple months ago came to me and knew that I wasn't involved in it. And she's like, Lance, I gave him $16,000, trusting him. After I gave him the money, he spoke to me a few times. I never heard from him. This is about land. Another person, $32,000. Another person, $54,000, and a whole lot of people under $10,000. I don't go for that. And one person who doesn't really know me or know my integrity, you know, I got a lot of perfecting to do. I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm really not. Nobody's perfect, but on the scale of working on myself, I'm probably not as far ahead as you think I am. I got a whole lot of work to catch up on with myself. But one thing I'm not going to do, I can have 2 cents in my pocket. I am not going to rip nobody off. It's hard for me to even ask, okay? And much more than that, rip somebody off. That's just something I won't do. And in my history and in my background, I don't have a history of that. Not once, because, you know, we have these public commenting boards and message boards and, chat rooms. I would have been blown up. Y'all know my weakness. It ain't cocaine. It ain't drugs. It ain't crime. It ain't beating people up. It's been women. Yeah. Okay. So if somebody said something like that, then you might have to side eye because you might say, well, maybe Lance slipped. But I'm trying to hold on. Thank God, thank the Creator for getting older in my age, because things don't work as good as they used to. And that might be a reason why, or a way for me to get into heaven. Muhammad Ali said that. He said, listen, the Parkinson's I have, it ain't a bad thing, because I know I'll probably get a better shot at getting into heaven because I won't be getting in trouble like I used to. Me and him have the same weakness. Anyway, I'm not claiming that though, you know? But these people who scam in my name, no. Look, I may not get 1 million hits. I may not have 1 million followers. I may not be making $1 million off of whatever. But one thing I do trust is my name. There are some people who would call themselves haters. Well, hey, we can talk about it. Not that I want to, but they just hate. That's how they are. I do this out of love, because if I did this for money, I would have stopped a long time ago, because there's other things I can do for money. And it's not like I can go out here in Ghana and just go get a job. The Ghanaians here don't even have enough jobs for the Ghanaians. You understand? So I got to deal with what I'm getting and make it work. You see? So I'm not looking to rip anybody off. The other thing is being harassed online. It's getting pretty serious, and I may need the help of Mr. JG. There's a woman who I did about maybe 7 or 8 shows with many years ago. It was a white woman. And she had lots of interesting information, passing on things, health-wise things, government-wise, as far as like the conspiracy theory type stuff, which was entertaining. And it did have an air of truth to it. But you couldn't vouch, but I wasn't promoting it. But she wanted to talk, and okay, we have brains here. And I have to say, I have to thank everybody for being here, because the Lancescurv inner circle here, the chat room, chat family, those who tune in near and far, there's a lot of intelligent people here, and a lot of it is drama free. And I want to thank you for that, because I do pop in on some shows that I like to listen to sometime until it gets off the chain and they start arguing and rolling around in the dirt off of who's indigenous and who's FBA and who's African. And oh man, I want to hear that. I'm evolving myself. The things I talk about are a little different. They're still the same. I'm not changing on you, but I'm evolving. I would like to think I'm getting better, right? And I don't come with these ready-made scripts. I don't know what I'm going to talk about as far as how I'm going to talk about it. I just got off the phone, sending Jack Griffin a message. When I hit the button, boom, to come on. So that's how I do. That's my gift, because I don't have any hidden agendas or secret motivations behind it, except to speak from the heart. Now, I'm being harassed by this woman who, after a few shows that we did, things didn't smell right. And she didn't come around to do any more shows. We haven't talked. And then one day, and this is back in Orlando when I was driving the bus, and I remember exactly the route I was doing in the time and everything. It was at the nighttime, and I was about to do my last run. This was an early day, because I would usually drive into the wee hours. So she told me, she texted me, and she said, Lance, you gotta do a show. My daughter's in jeopardy. Her life is in jeopardy. They kidnapped her and all this. And I already knew like she was going off the deep end with stuff. But sometimes you talk with people and, come on, y'all. Y'all been through that. You're on a bus stop, the train station, the supermarket, the checkout line, and you're talking to somebody and they seem very intelligent. And after a while, you're waiting in this long line, probably the holiday season or whatever. You're talking with them and you realize, or something hits you that something's off. They didn't do anything yet, but something's off about this person. And then you kind of behind them so you don't see their face all the way. Then they turn around. They got one eye shooting off to the right, and they got a goofy look on their face, and they say something really dumb. You know, I ate my dinner last night out of some used diapers. You're like, I've been talking to a nut all this time. What the heck? Then they go back into intelligent mode, and you're like, I'm not going to talk to this person. Sorry about the eye. The eye you could be intelligent and normal and have the eye shooting off, but there's always that person that you talk to in public and you didn't see the eye yet. Looking like Leon Spinks. And he says something out of nowhere, and you're looking like, wait a second, we had an intelligent conversation. Don't tell me you're a nutcase. Please try to tell me or let me know that you're normal. You're playing a game on me. And then they walk off, and you're like, look how they walking. They got one orthopedic shoe on. Nothing wrong with that. They might have their feet, but something's off about this person. So it's like, got to be careful. Now, this woman claims to be affiliated with the federal government on certain levels and this international cabal of whatever. And she calls me a Scientology agent based in Ghana. Now she's levying accusations on me because I do not want to be bothered with her anymore. And what she's doing and what she's been doing for years because of her imagined battles, she has been sent. I never saw anybody send out an email that had 402 people on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably copy and paste it and put it on my site and drop it in the comment section here so you can look at it. And let me read a little bit of this. Let me see if I can find it. First of all, let me see if I can log into my Gmail. Not to give this too much attention, but you have to see how, you know, and she's coming after me, and now she's going to put the nails in my coffin. I'm like, okay, this is a bit too much. You're going to put nails in my coffin. Okay. I think this is the email here. Let me open this up. Woo, it's a long thing. And she has contacted every bit of media. I'm talking about Indian media, Czechoslovakian media in China, all the stuff. I'm like, man, I need to take some of these email addresses and use them myself. Okay, this and it rambles. Okay, reply to, because I wrote a note that explained, in all honesty, what it is, because these other people who are receiving this, we don't know who they are, and it made sense, and it put her on fire. Because anytime you try to break her out of delusion, she comes after you. Reply to Lancescurv, CIA Scientology operating with 13 other U.S. CIA Scientology secret spies for corporate espionage in Ghana. Isn't that something? Lance, you are a bald-faced liar, and it has been proven over what has been almost 6 years of setting you up by real-time satellite surveillance with my international intelligence security detail. I dumped you, Lance. No, there was nothing sexual going on. I left her alone with the shows, and now she's saying, because she's showing out for the people, I dumped you, Lance, in October 2017, which had nothing to do with you at the time. I did like and respect you very much until you got tricked into CIA Scientology contract with signed kidnap contracts, because you are the sacrifice pawn in this deadly game of NBA basketball. I dumped your show because of your ignorant, racist, radical Scientology audience of dumb FUCKs, and I did not tell you. I just simply stopped participating, as your show was never anything more to me than a free platform that served my own self-serving interests for my own agenda, and it did serve me well at the time until you and your show were no longer needed, and it was no longer necessary for me to have to dumb myself down to your ignorant, low-class audience of racist, radical Scientologists. I did, however, talk about it behind your back on numerous occasions with your friend David Moore in Texas and your other friend Flavius Jones, who shared the same views about it as I did. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just kind of giving you a feel. Let me see. This is crazy. It was not until almost a year later, right after the 912-14. Okay. What is this, a date? 2018, Clinton, Biden, Fauci, Pfizer, pharmaceutical kidnapping, trafficking, murder, terrorist operation for the Alex and Avery Ishmael, NBA, Nicholas. This lady's crazy. Okay, here it is. Let's go down. Lancescurv is the pawn here who didn't even look to see who he's replying to all. See, that's what pissed her off. I replied my message to all because nobody's really answered her back. To even know that he was set up in a now 35 international criminal investigation, just like he never knew who I really am, because he is the pawn and wasn't supposed to know who we really are, or that or we are we, and that I am globally known, verified, and respected as one of the most important people in the world. Now, see, this is when you know she's a nutcase, who was born one of the most powerful, most protected, and most hidden people in the world by birthright family lineage. Okay, there's okay, it's the same kind of talk. You know, the more you narcissistically gaslighting Scientologists and American Nazi terrorists attempt to slander me with, does this sound? And if she was this powerful, would she be answering me back like that? It's crazy. And so, she receiving food stamps. What's she talking about? But you ought to see the emails she's sending. If you're one of the most powerful people in the world, why do you have to spam people, 402 different people, and they're not answering? And you get a few of them back, out to office, out to vacation, I'll be back in 2 weeks. These people are not paying her no mind. This is crazy. When you get online, you don't know. And this is why, for me, when a person comes on, I got to do some background on them. I'm not saying anybody who's on with me now has been grandfathered in. We cool. But any of these new people, and for me, back a couple years ago, some of the old people, that's all they come on for. They come on to get a little attention. You know, and I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but there's a few people that might be listening. See, I've become the secured credit card of these online platforms that do interviews. Well, if the other platforms don't acknowledge you can always go to Lance, you put your own money in and you work your deal and you get credit and he gives it back to you. Now, there's no money involved, but that's what it is. Mikey will do it. I've been the Mikey of YouTube. It's crazy. And I can tell you, they use the name to rip people off. If you have a bit of credibility, they sit off in the shadows and they scheme on you. And that's not the majority. The most of us have been good, credible people. But there's some who now have been knocking on my door and I'm like, my symbolic door. And I'm like, yeah, you have to. You have to. Because look what she's doing. She's putting all this energy. And what am I going to do? Go back and forth? I said what I said, and that's it. Now it's time to expose. But when you say that you're going to end my life and you're going to put the final nails in my coffin, now you got to fight. If I see you at my front door, I don't care if you're a little old white lady, I'm going to punch you in the face and knock you out because you threatened my life. And there's so many people who depend on me, my children, my family, for what I do and who I am. Don't threaten me. I don't threaten anybody. That's what I'm saying now. Now we're going heavyweight. And now these are going to be forwarded to those very people you claim to be a part of. All right? And they'll be visiting you. She's put up videotapes of her fussing with the police. When the police come to her house for whatever, she'll do harassing things to neighbors. And when the cops come, you're coming here from this international so-and-so nutcase. Why did I have to deal? And I thought she was legit. We did do shows together. She put them in the email. Yes, I did. But when I found out that, she had that funny eye looking off and no teeth in the front, and an orthopedic shoe talking about something crazy, I said, this woman's nuts. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Oyala. That's right. So anyway, these are the things that you have to deal with when you get to a certain level. And you don't have to get to any high level. I'm not saying I'm there. But once you get to be noticed or respected to a point, there's a lot of envious people out there, or a lot of people who feel that, I can show out, or I can get some followers from this person. Let me ask you this. Think about this, right? And this is everybody here. No matter what city you live in, or if you're in a hick town, it may not be that much. You live like way out in the country. But any partially major city where they have a transportation hub, why is it that there's always someone there with a mental illness acting out, showing out? You see what I mean? You never see anybody with a mental illness 40 miles out into the woods acting crazy. You never see them do that. They find themselves in front of people to act out, which shows me that there's some measure of awareness that they know they have to do this in front of people. So why do they seek out people like me and want to show out and create drama and all of this stuff? Why? Why? Y'all know the deal. I lived a wild life many decades ago. There's a lot of naked pictures of Lancescurv out there. You won't recognize them with Jerry curls and as muscular as I was. But when it comes, it's like, so what? Send them to me. I need to keep those in my collection. I have no problem confessing or revealing what I've been through in this life. That's when I do my after dark shows. I will be talking about things in a graphic manner to teach people what to stay away from, what is out there, the attraction of it, how it can get you caught up. But it's not to glorify certain things, but there are worlds out here above and below the worlds that we move in. There are worlds that correspond or they move along with right up under you. It's like if you have a roach crawling on your back, you don't know. You don't know what's behind you. You don't know what's up under your nose. You have the gift of discernment to figure these things out, but we're human. Sometimes we're not spiritually on as we should be. And the gift of discernment is reduced because we're either in a decadent state of mind or we're angry or extremely sad or stressed. So for us to have that gift working 100%, we got to be on. I feel like standing up, yo. Let me just raise up this mic. I got used to walking and talking yesterday, so my legs were pumping. But let's move on to everything else. I think there was something else. I was saying something about the gay community. There's a gentleman who is looking for clout. He live streams my live streams, cussing me out when I speak about things that deal with the LGBTQ community. And again, like I say, those guys are human beings, no matter what their choices are. I would not walk up to anybody like that and beat them up, spit on them, cuss them out. If I see anybody doing anything to any human being, if they are part of that community and it's unfounded and unfair, I'm going to step in physically and make sure that they're safe. I'm not a hateful person. I can say very intense things when activated, when I'm very passionate. And some people who don't know me would say, oh my God, look what he's saying. But I don't have a history of walking up to people and provoking fights. When left alone, I'm a very peaceful person, even if you have an ideology that is different from me. But this gentleman is going around saying, I hate people of that persuasion, and that's what my platform is all about. And he wants to come on with me to debate me only because he wants clout. And he's not ever getting that chance. Changes his name and puts up banners on Instagram. I challenge you. I feel like the heavyweight champ of the world that don't want to fight that contender that could probably beat me. You know, he's acting like Mr. T and I'm Rocky. But he's not Mr. T and I ain't Rocky. You know, I'm the one who will beat his behind in the debate, but I'm not trying to be that one because, see, it's almost like 50 Cent the rapper way back in the day. He would pick little beefs with other rappers who are established to give him clout and put him on the map. And that's what happens on social media. People want to debate you, to debunk you, and now they're going to bring all of your followers with them. And it's not about that. It might be 10 people on this show listening. Right now, there are 47 people. I've had shows where there was over 500 people listening. There are shows like that. I'm a little guy. I have no problem with that. I'm cool in my lane. You know what I mean? When Home Depot first came to New York City back in 1994, all of the hardware stores and mom and pop hardware stores, they were shaking in their boots because, wait a second, we can't compete with those prices. Because of what Home Depot can sell a screwdriver for, they had to charge more for. They didn't have the storage space. They didn't have the big trucks to deliver things across the country. So some of those people, they quit. They shut down. We're not going to deal with this. We're going to lose money. But the wise ones, what did? They adapted. They became specialty shops. If Home Depot sold all of these cabinets that may not have been high end, those hardware stores, there was one across the street from Home Depot who took a disadvantage and made it an advantage. How did they do that? They turned their whole operation. It was a mom and pop store, right? And they stayed in there for a while, months after Home Depot came there, and their money, nobody came there anymore. They had to stay open after hours. And I think after a while, it became 24 hours and smashed them. So what did they do? They saw that Home Depot sold lots of cabinets and certain brands of cabinet handles. Well, they went into the high-end cabinet handle business. I think they also sold faucets, high-end faucets. Home Depot sells these brands because they have certain contracts with them. Home Depot and Lowe's don't sell everything. So if you want to go in a high-end market, you don't go there. So the traffic, all the traffic of people that came to Home Depot, that wanted a better cabinet handle, something gold-plated, something exotic looking, that Home Depot didn't stock, they went right across the street. And guess what? They didn't quit out of fear. They hung in there. They changed the angle, adapted, and they won. That business was flourishing. I talked to the owners. They were so happy that Home Depot came around. You see what I mean? So when you have something facing you, you can't just punk out and say, this is what it looks like, so this is what it is. Every problem, and I hate to say the word problem, I say challenge, because challenge is for champions. Problems, like I said, it's a very heavy word that makes you want to sit out on the curb and just give up. Sitting on the dock of the bay. Not me. I may feel down sometimes. You can get knocked down. You can get messed up. Sometimes in life, things that happen to me, I say, let me just go on to bed and just forget about this. But it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon last year. Let me just go on and go lay down a little bit and just figure this out. I don't want to think about it right now. You know what I mean? And then you heal up and you come back strong and you figure out a different angle to defeat the issue, the challenge, and you rise to the occasion. And now you feel better than ever before. That's what it's all about. So now, when I talk about put on the whole armor, when you get up in the daytime, whatever time you get up, and your home is at peace, whether you're at home with 25 different family members or it's just you and a cat or just by yourself, is peace. Unless you have some type of torment going on in your mind because of your indulgences that may not be right. But if pretty much you're living balanced and you know how to live and you have a life that is edifying for you, you're going to have issues. And I'm not trying to be negative now, but your issues are not going to come from within. And this is for people who don't have those issues from within because, you know, some of us get depressed or suicidal. But I'm not saying you have a Prozac type life. You know what I mean? But you have a natural Prozac gland that just releases all of this stuff that makes you all happy and go lucky, because we're not that way all the time. We reflect on things. We're sad a little bit. And let me be very open and honest with you. I'm going to talk. Last night I was crying. I was crying hard. I saw a clip on YouTube. Man, it made me shed so much tears. I was crying. Mrs. SCURV was in the room. She had the door closed. I'm there. I had a wonderful childhood. Middle class, parents were together, that type of thing. I didn't get all my wants, but I had all my needs. But you know I have a brother who's always been on drugs, in and out. When he's off, he's brilliant, all that good stuff, love him, still love him anyway, and he's still alive. I'm very transparent about this. So the clip it was a short clip. I forgot to act his name. I saved it. Maybe I'll put it in the community section. That'll be my dumping ground for things I talk about on the show, the community tab on this channel. So look for that too. But there was a young man who was playing, and he didn't say it. You understood what it was. He was outside in the hallway, and the mother was inside the apartment. And she opened the door, but she had the security chain on it. So it can open only, but probably like six inches or whatever, 7 inches, 8 inches. And she was behind the door. And the young man was saying, Ma, please, I need I need $20. You got to give me $20, please. And she's like, no. Maybe if you might know the movie this is off of, right? So he's on drugs, begging her for money. She's saying no. She's not angry, but to see her son in that particular state ripped her heart apart. And to say no, we're going deeper now. Mothers are used to saying yes, or if you deserve something good, she's going to make a way to make it happen. So she didn't want to say yes to the drugs, but being a mother, it hurt her to not say yes because she knew what it was for. So he was acting up and got more aggressive and started using the F word and, you know, pushing on the door and I'll be a good boy. You gotta. It was, man, I started crying. Now, I never saw it in my household like that. Never. Because my brother never aggressively said anything or acted like whatever. Because he would only do that when my father wasn't around. When my father was at work or whatever, he'd come around when he wasn't allowed in the house. Ma, can I get 50 cents? Ma, can I get $10? Ma, no, no, I won't say his name, right? No, no, you know what you're gonna do it for. No, she was tough with him, but it hurt her. And I picked up on it because he still never did it like in my face in front of her. And he would go away mad, sucking his teeth because she didn't give money for that. But my household wasn't that kind of household. It was good. That would happen every now and again. You see what I mean? So seeing that, I was thinking about how my mother felt. You see, that's gotta, I'll talk about that one day. I don't hold nothing back. See? And it's gotta really, really hurt. And it's from that standpoint that it made me cry. That here she has a brilliant son, great potential, college educated, can tell you anything that's going on in the world with current events right now. I mean, he reads and that's in him. So, okay, put it this way. Me and him have different personalities, right? And I'm going to say it this way, but not as a put down to him. Imagine Lancescurv was a crackhead. All you know about me, imagine Lancescurv was a straight up intense crackhead. I would be fooling a whole lot of people because naturally without the drug, I have energy. I'm thinking, I'm doing things on a righteous level. But imagine an evil Lancescurv emerged and people trusted me. Yeah, that's what he is. You see what I mean? So when I say put on the whole armor, it means more than just when they say in church, you got to put on the whole armor of God to fight the devil. That's too generalized. We got to get down to specifics on how these things work. We have too many people who are, they're hesitant to throw the knockout blow because of the manifestation of who it is in front of them. And that's how the negative forces work. They come at you through people you know to have you questioning yourself. But if you don't know this, you'll be duped every time. They'll come to you and people who have been friends to you, who in their mind are not friends now no more because they want something from you more than what, like with the whole drug thing. How many mothers have been duped to giving away large sums of money, even though they know in the back of their mind there's something wrong? They do this because they'll rather roll with the facade instead of following the gift of discernment that they've been given to address the situation. You look in my neighborhood, Richmond Hill, right by the Van Wyck Expressway, but I also say Jamaica because on the mail they want to say Jamaica because Jamaica was a code word for black, Jamaica Queens. I would say this is South Richmond Hill. Well, here it has Jamaica. So you know what? I'm going with Jamaica. There's so many homes that people died and left to the crackhead children, or the crackhead children finagled and got their hands on it, and the person who's still living in there, that's their parents, ended up on the curb. There was a nice house I found out was sold for $5,000 in my neighborhood. And it was a dude who got his hands on the property and he was on crack. And the people who bought the house, you know, they flashed some money in front of him. And he said, no, I ain't taking no $2,000. No, I ain't taking no $3,000. And they took him out to eat and would negotiate and said, this is our final offer. Take it or leave it. We're leaving now. Man, you're ripping me off. $5,000. Man, you're ripping me off. I'll take it. Like that. Signing papers and everything. It's crazy. So you got to put on the whole armor 360 degrees around. And again, I'm going to say in the beginning, I'm not nobody's preacher. I'm just using that because that's something that we all know the terms of. Those of us who are raised in the church, those of us who are near the church, you've heard this thing. You got to put on the whole armor of God. So what good is it if you have the breastplate on and you don't have, and it's in the front and there's nothing in the back? You get stabbed in the back. Your arms are exposed. Your legs are exposed. Your face is exposed. What good is it? What good is it to put a $50,000 security system, door lock and security system on your front door and on your side doors, and all you got in the back door is just a screw-in little hook door that you can just rip open and it rips open? You have to have, and this is just like in boxing. You got the strongest punch, knock everybody out, and no defense. So you get knocked out. So it makes for entertaining fights because you don't know who's going to win. They may get you or you may get them. But we don't want that. We want to be covered all the way through. So we've got to take inventory in our life. We got to take it where once we are evaluated, once we know, Like certain people in my life, there's no question. Jack Griffin, that's all I'll say. No question. When they see the word integrity in the dictionary, you see his face. You see what I mean? And I have several other friends like that. But there are other people who you may know, they switch on you. They change on you. You see what I mean? And I got to give much love to Jack Griffin because he knows of my decadence and he never turned his back on me. He still loves me as a friend and a brother. Thank you, brother. That means a lot to me, you see? Because I ain't perfect. I still ain't perfect, right? So that being said, you got to look at the tricks of the negative energies around you because there's no reason why in your day and in your waking up, aside from our own maybe bit of sorrow, we may have lost someone, or we may feel down physically because of something physically ailing us or whatever, but there's no reason why you really shouldn't have your batteries near full. I'm not going to say 100% when you wake up, and you will be 100%. And especially as you get older, sometimes it's not 100%. Your battery capacity might be 89 at a certain age at 70 years old, but that is your 100% because there is wear and tear. But you should be pretty much feeling full in your energy and in your enthusiasm for life. And I use that as a personal gauge that when I don't have that enthusiasm to say, yes, this is a whole new day. This is a new day to create. This is a new day to make something up that the world can appreciate. I enjoy doing this. I never came out here to talk on. I would have thought you were lying if you took a time machine back to 2001 when I started and said, Lance, you'll be doing shows every day and talking and freestyling it. No, that's only for my friends where I'm comfortable around them. And it took me off the path of what I came on writing and drawing. I haven't done that in a while. So you never know what a path will lead you down. But then when you go down a new path and you have enthusiasm with it and you're manifesting and getting better in what you do, there will be those who will be within your proximity near and far who might not like it, who want to stop you from doing what you're doing, who don't like what you're doing because it shines down on them what they're not doing. Not that they're supposed to be doing the same exact thing that you're doing, but for them. You got some people in the mall and they sell dresses. The next person sells hats. And the dress shop may not be doing so good. So that person is mad at the guy who is selling out all the hats. I just can't be that way. I'm glad my parents made me the way I am. They did not allow anything called envy or jealousy to enter my heart. I've never been jealous of anybody. I may joke and say, hey man, I'm jealous of you, but I'm not that way. I'm like an innocent little boy in many ways. With all the things, crazy stuff I've done, there's that innocent little boy part of me that's still intact. You know, when you go back to the old neighborhood where you grew up and you look at all the houses, how they changed, and you see different neighbors and say, whoa, that person must have moved that was there before. Maybe they passed away. I don't know. But you look into the yard that you were in, or maybe the park that you were in, or somebody else's yard, and there was a tree that you used to love to climb. And you look at the tree, and the tree grew so big, it didn't even look, it's in the same position, but it's like, that can't be the tree until you see the original branch that you used to climb on, but that branch is still there, but other branches sprouted out. You see what I mean? So that's how we are as people. And that's how some people are, with the extra branches that they have on them. You might see them as that person from back in elementary school that you used to get along with so much, but now they could be an evil gossip that's hateful. And you talk to them in a pure, loving manner, and they even hate you for that. I'm gonna tell you, you can meet people that you didn't even know from before, and you know from experience, because ain't nobody in here dummy, their spirit does not resonate with you. It could be people that you already know. They maybe have different branches that sprouted out in their personality, and they never let you know. But it's like a chemical thing. How you get along with one person is not the way you're going to get along with somebody else. That's just the way it is. So when we see these situations, we've got to filter through what's around us. It may not always be what it seems. I've had people walk up to me, Lance, I love what you're doing. I'm following you online. And they're the biggest gossips talking about you, running their mouth, trying to undergird the integrity that you have, that they don't have. simply because of that. And I'm going to tell you, and again, I didn't come from any school of theology. I'm not anybody's preacher. I didn't really study the Bible like that. I just grew up in church, and my mother told me more things on a spiritual level than just a churchified level. But I know this, you got to be careful with these people. And when I say put on the whole armor, if you can't vouch for them 100%, you better keep your eye on them, because there's a lot of technology going on. There's a lot of deception going on. Everybody that comes to you with a smile, that may be the key that they need to get in your world to F everything up, to either get something out of you or to go in out of envy and mess you up, because what you're doing and the peace of mind and joy that you get out of what you're doing, they don't have that in their life, and they don't want you to have it at all. I saw a meme on Instagram the other day. It said, jealous people don't always want what you have. They just don't want you to have what you have. That's sick to me. Because like my father told me coming up, jealousy is the flip side of motivation. So if I'm sitting here jealous of somebody, that means you can't look at two sides of the same coin at the same time. If I'm looking at the motivated side of the coin, I don't see jealousy. I can't. Unless you hold up a mirror and look at the front side. See, but that don't work. We're talking about directly. Jealousy is the flip side of motivation. See? So if you are not motivated by what I do, or I'm not motivated by what you do, there's got to be a little bit of envy in there. You see? I won't put out too much of anybody's information, but I know people who have hobbies and they love to restore muscle cars from back in the 60s. And they pay attention to every single detail in keeping that vehicle right. They may drive it short every Sunday. They don't want to run the mileage up. It's garage kept. And they know the history of it. They love it. This is their hobby. You're allowed to have hobbies. It doesn't mean that it's something that took your life over, but it's something you like to do. It brings you great satisfaction because, see, I like to draw. I like to ride my bike. I like to ride my unicycle. I'm not going to say it's a little boy in me, but it's something I like to do. You don't get to a certain age and, well, I'm an adult now. I can't like to do the things I like. I must just sit up here and just pay bills and be an adult and live a corny life. No. You know when you're younger and you say, boy, when I get older, I'm going to drive a car. When I get older, I'm going to have my own house. When I get older, I can go out and stay out as late as I want. And then you get older. And while you may get joy from driving that car, you wasn't thinking about the car note when you were a kid. While you love that big house that you're in, you weren't thinking about the maintenance of that house or the mortgage on that house or the light bill and the gas bill and the taxes. Oh, the hot water heater broke. I got to go. You know, there's a leak in the roof. I got to, man. So that little boy in you, that little girl in you, like sat down like, okay. And then when you get older, you say, I didn't realize how good I had it when I was young. I didn't realize how good I had it when I was 9 and 10 years old and didn't have to think about a mortgage and didn't have to think about a car note. You're in a relationship. You don't know if the person's cheating on you. You know, I mean, all the other things that come along with it. So it's a happy medium for me to have gone through all of the things in life and to come to this age and to be able to live a more simpler life and do shows and draw and get out and ride my bike, because I'm trying to reduce those things that keep me in the system. I'm trying to reduce those, and they'll always be there, but hopefully you live the life where you have accrued enough so it can work automatic. You see? So there are people out there who may not have had it where they were thinking ahead of time. I'll tell you one thing, I've wasted a lot of time. I've worked jobs off the books, you know what I mean? Making good money off the books, but it ain't gonna help towards your Social Security. You see what I mean? And you wanna try to live a life where you don't need anything from the outside like that anyway. You bring down your overhead as much as you can and live frugally and get into the joyous things that bring you joy. You have time to enjoy the sunsets. You got time to enjoy being at the beach during the week when usually you'd be working. Those things that bring joy to your heart to say, you know what? I made it. Doesn't mean you have $13 million in the bank, but you made it to be able to navigate as this world tightens up on others. And sometimes when we see people like this, I'm glad. I'm happy for them. I'm truly happy for them because they've bushwhacked the trail for me that I can also, in my own way, with whatever I have, live that kind of life. But there's some people, for simple reasons, stupid reasons, they don't dig you too tough. So they're going to bring hell in your life, even the time-released hell. They may not walk up to you and say something, but they sure will try to poison anybody from liking you. And mind you, I'm not out here to be liked. You know, I hate that social media lingo. Hit the like button and follow me. Follow me where? I don't want everybody to follow me to the bathroom. Well, we're your followers, Lance. You said to follow you. Yo, you hang around a little bit, you're going to smell something. You'll be running out of here. No, I eat really clean. You don't even know. I know I'm crazy. But you don't have to understand the reasons why these demonic entities come to you. You just have to be protected and keep your guard up, not paranoia, but take your time with certain situations that seem too good to be true. It may be too good to be true. Test everything. Test the spirit. Go down the list. Don't you know that if you go for a job where it's high responsibility and you're responsible for so much and you have to have that integrity, it's going to be harder to get that job because they're going to do an extensive background check to make sure you're not a crook. You know, I know a young lady who was going to be in the pharmaceutical industry, and she went through school and everything. And when she went for this job, the background check on that had her so angry. She said, they don't do this on other jobs. Well, they're not going to do that at the local Walmart or the Home Depot or a supermarket or the department store. But they're going to do that in the pharmaceutical industry because if you have access to very expensive pills and capsules, it's easy to take half a handful in your pocket and sell some of the things out in the street. What do you call it? People say it's so many different, Oxycontin, cotton, whatever. You know what that is. And you can take a handful every day if you work in some pharmacy and mark down the papers, whatever, where they don't miss it. You know what I mean? Because you're allowed to have so much fall and crush and whatever and make a killing. So they have to make sure. And one of the areas that they look in to see if your credit is all right. Your credit has to be good. You have to have good spending habits. You have to pay your bills on time. Because if they see that, it's more of a motivation for you to artificially boost up your situation by stealing some things. So there's a lot of things that go on in life that we don't know about if we're not in those areas. But with the entities and energies around us, understand energies can change. People can come at you for all different kind of ways. And you have to save the good part of yourself for the good people. I will do anything for the good people in my life because I know they'll do anything for me. But I don't tax that. I don't say, well, here's a good person. Hey, you know, for the next 10 months, pay my bills. No. If I have extra money, I might send them some just because out of love. You know what I mean? If I'm going through something out of love, I'm not going to tax them. See? So then a lot of people out here don't have that integrity. They will sit there and closet hate on you instead of facing their situations, facing the consequences of their own choices and making it right. Even if they have to take the next 10 years to do it. Huh? Look, it's a fact. I had a bad situation before in another marriage and I had to divorce her. Calling the cops on me for and saying that I hit her and I didn't do that and all the crazy stuff, bipolar stuff. And the judge said, hey, it might be cheaper to keep her. He told me that. Do you see what you're going to be paying for the next so many years for your children? And I said, yeah, I know. It's no problem for me because I paid so much more with them and I wanted them to enjoy every penny I made. So that little figure there, which people will cry like, yo, Lance, you better just don't do it, man. Don't do it. I said, nope. Because I might end up in a situation where one of them phone calls might go through and I can't have that. And to get back on the topic in a second, I just want to say when anybody's in any one of these situations, no matter what it is, just because you see the clouds in the sky, that doesn't mean the sun doesn't have rays for you. It's just a matter of time. Some storms last long, some storms last short, but you have to have the stick-it-to-itiveness to know that you're going through something, maybe even for years, where you have very little to eat, very little money to indulge in things you like, right? But the time is coming if you hold on, because I've been in some real bad situations. And if I looked at that one situation as being everything, I'm not suicidal, but maybe I would have done things that were risky in reaction to my frustration. And it would have taken me out of the realities that I'm enjoying now. You see what I mean? There's always the next great reality. And sometimes you go through things because you have to learn a lesson. You see what I mean? So what if I didn't hold on at those times, right? What if I went out in the street and was walking down the street and somebody looked at me funny? What are you looking at? And I'm mad because I'm frustrated. I'm looking at you. What you looking at? The dude comes toward me and I knock him out or hit him, and he falls and hits his head on the concrete, has a seizure or some kind of spasm or dies, some kind of blood clot or something. Now, murder. Now I'm locked up. Now the frustrations of that time took hold of me and took control of me, and I would never know what life in Africa is like. I would never know what it's like to take time and do construction on a house that I designed. I can say that. So the evil forces, if you want to say devil, Satan, Shaitan, or whatever, they're out here scoping you, trying to F you up, because those negative energies that may be in people, they have no hope. They have no future. They can only be demonic. And it ain't too cool being that. So misery loves company. They want to bring you down into that. And don't think that the negative energies out here don't have the gift of discernment. Like I've always said before, back in the day, World War II, you have two opposing forces or a few opposing forces. Don't you think they're listening to the communications of the enemy to know where to meet them in war to try to win the battle and eventually win the war? Of course. So they know what you like. These entities know the energies. It's deeper than what you think. They can damn near read your mind. They study you. They know you. And we're creatures of habit. We give away our secrets. On a simpler level, you're on Facebook. You worked hard all year. You're finally getting that trip to Hawaii that you wanted to go to for the last 10 years, and you are so happy. And you just telling everybody you getting ready to go to Hawaii. And you got a nice house. And people who are looking to break in that house know you're not going to be there. They see the newspapers piling up. They see the mailbox piling up. They see the grass growing a little more, and you done told it. Now you're putting pictures out. Waikiki Beach and all this stuff. I've never been there. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And you're just enjoying yourself. And they know you're not there. Hey, they just posted something else. Go check see what's in the refrigerator, what they got to eat. They in your house eating. They in your house chilling. I heard of a situation when I worked in the jail. This dude was robbing these people's house, and he brought this girl in the other night. Another night from when he robbed the place. He didn't have a place to bring her to have sex. Isn't that crazy? I know another person said, man, my house was broken into, man. They went in the fridge, and they ain't have the decency, man, to flush the toilet when they took a doo-doo. I'm like, man, that's DNA evidence. I wouldn't want to touch it, but that's DNA evidence, right? I guess it is. Imagine somebody coming up to you in the street. The cops, hold it right there. We need you. Have to bring you in. Ooh, what'd I do? Don't worry about it. Get in the car. And they lead you, right? And they tell you, take a dump. Take the handcuffs off me first, man. How am I going to wipe myself? But yeah, there are people out here who know where you're going. They see your trajectory. They see for you the good things that life has for you. And yes, even the good things that are coming, they're going to be tests and trials and tribulations. And they feel hopeless. And they're there to do everything that they can to stop you from reaching your divine legacy and goal. And so when they say put on the whole armor, and then, you know, in church they say, well, the Bible, the devil comes to kill and steal, rape and destroy. Well, you know what? If you're living clean and you do and submitting to the righteous divine laws, whatever you call them, because it all comes down to the same thing. You understand? If you're doing that, and I'm not going to get into the religious side of things, if you're doing all you can to live a pristine life and something comes your way trying to stop you, you don't sit there and be a victim. I'm not just going to say, I'll rebuke you. Listen, I'm picking up my sword and I'm coming to kill you, demon. I'm coming to destroy you, demon. I ain't trying to rape no demon because I'm not into demon booty, okay? But you have the legal right to fight, to defend the goodness that you have, because the Creator gave you your life, and your life is not to be wasted in battle with some demonic force that you're afraid to knock out. I will cut their heads off. I'll put the, look, I'm a demon predator. When I see negative energy coming at me, I go after it. I don't sit there and let it brush off. If you're doing something to me or violating something that I put down as a rule or a law, I'm gonna let you know about it. So I might just bust out and cuss out a demon. Is he crazy? No. And that's when them demons, they know they're wrong and they know they're guilty, and that's why they run. And I will keep on doing it because I'm going to keep the boundaries a certain way. I fought hard to get to this point in my life. I came from behind. I'm a success story on that level. And of course, I made and faced the fact that I made a lot of poor decisions and bad decisions that I faced up to. I'm not saying things happened to me and I was always doing the right thing. No, I wasn't always doing the right thing. I was creeping at night and I was preoccupied with the female parts, and they kept bringing it to me, and years rolled by. But at least I salvaged some of my life. I can say I'm at a place that I still have the juices of youth flowing through my body, that I can enjoy life and say, whoa, imagine if I got on par straight from the beginning. But we can't change the past. We can only use that for motivation. But don't let people waste your time. And when you see somebody violate you, and violate is a strong word, but when you sense something's not right, and you're trying to do something right in this world and in your life, you're supposed to deal with that right then on the spot. And if they can't come to you with a good answer as to why, you delete them out of your life. Delete them out completely. Give your good life force to the good people that you know and that you have yet to meet. That's where it's at. That's where you get your blessing. You see what I mean? So it's just like, are you afraid to cut the grass where the grass is growing out of control? No, you're going to cut it down to a height that you find favorable in your yard that looks good. So why are you going to tolerate this dude coming around you, asking you for $5 and $10 drug money? You know that's what it is. Why are you going to tolerate somebody telling you you can't do something that you want to do, you've always wanted to achieve? And they're going to suddenly, a lot of times you see, we think they're going to come out and say it. No, they don't always do that. They do it in a very subtle manner. You sure you want to do that? You know, you can do so many other things and whatever. We got to take control of our life because too many people got their hands on our steering wheel. We're in the driver's seat with our life. The Creator gave us the vehicle. He put the roads out. As long as there's something righteous, he will sign off on it. And you got these other people sitting up, trying to sit up in your car behind you and reach over and turn down a road you don't want to go down. If you don't want to go down that road, you don't have to go down that road. A lot of people don't know that, and they're adults and they don't know that. Because I don't want to hurt their feelings. It's all right. He ain't going to do it all the time. He going back to his hometown in 2 weeks. No, I'm not giving it up for nobody. Only the good people in my life. You have access to all my resources, my energy, anything you need. But these people who are low-key, hating on you, and the only way they can feel good is when they're getting over on you, or they feel they're getting over on you. And this works in so many different ways. This is why, even with Mrs. SCURV, I protect her. She comes on the shows, and there are people that, oh, I want to speak to that director. I want to sell this product, and I want to. Well, we work as a unit, and I control all social media. What is it you need to tell me? So sometimes, in even other situations, there will be people who will want to befriend your spouse to get around you, to get to the resources that are yours, are both of yours, but they want to get to it without you being involved because they know they got hell to pay, or they know they done put your name in their mouth the wrong way. See, I break it down what it is, and this makes people very uncomfortable around me. I say it. People can be funny. Here's another one. I remember when I had my first daughter with my first wife, because I have another daughter from the play days, okay? I wasn't married then, but my first marriage. And my wife was darkly complected. as most who I've dealt with. That's just my thing. I like that, right? And is there anything wrong with loving a black woman? I've dealt with black women who are of lighter complexion, whatever, but I'm just saying, there's just something about that chocolate. I love it. Well, anyway, you know, I'm the complexion that I am. She was very dark, which was a good thing. And all of her friends, who she thought were friends, were waiting to see what complexion the baby's gonna come out. They didn't say this, but I picked up on it, and she didn't. Because I heard, you know, people are always bringing me things, right? And so when my daughter came out, probably lighter than me, they heard about it. It was wintertime. So at one point we were walking down the street, and we had her in the you know, the whatchamacallit. What, come on, I'm having a brain fart. The stroller, okay. Been a long time since I had some babies, unless I was sleepwalking at night and didn't know it. Somebody come to me, remember 3 years ago you were sleeping, but you came into my room, right? I came in a whole lot more than the room. But there was one girl who was a friend of hers, a friend of me, and I knew she was a friend of me. She was like, oh, I know it's cold, but let me take a peek at the baby. Oh, the baby's so beautiful. Oh, ha, ha, ha. She never heard from her again. And about 5 of her people that she thought were friends never called her again because they were envious that the complexion of my daughter matched and was a little lighter than me. She's a black girl. We all come in different shades. What the hell? You so hung up on that? And you mad at me? But look who I chose. I don't deal with nothing but black women. It could be light complexion, it don't matter, but that's what I kind of lean toward. You know, I'm the kind of guy, I love to put ketchup on stuff, but I ain't stupid. If there's no ketchup around, give me some barbecue sauce. It's damn near the same thing. I put barbecue sauce on hamburgers a whole lot in this life. But people can be so funny, and then you can end up getting hurt thinking that I didn't think it was this way and whatever have you. That's why you got to put on the whole armor. You don't know who is plugged into you. You don't know the real reason why when you wake up in the morning, you wake up in the morning at 13% battery charge of enthusiasm. It should be in the high 90s if your capacity is that way. Yeah, if you're 77 years old, work hard all your life, and had all kind of tragedies, your capacity might be 68. But whatever 100% of the energy is that you have, you need to have 100% of it. I used to tell people this when I would train them in the gym. I said, there are reasons why you have a good day. Replicate those factors. Think about why. You got good sleep. You had good nutrition. You were in a certain state of mind. You didn't overtrain. So the next day you feel so enthusiastic to lift them weights, right? The day you don't feel good, look back on it. Well, maybe there was an emergency in your neighborhood. The ambulance, the cops, the sirens woke you up, broke your sleep. You had 2 more hours of sleep and you couldn't go to sleep. So now you're deficient in sleep. You missed your breakfast. You woke up late and you had to run out the house, half funky, and you didn't eat good. Now you go to the gym and you don't feel right. There's reasons why we don't feel right. And when you're not at your best, there's reasons why you're not at your best or have the enthusiasm. And yes, we need to physically rest. My problem is my mind is so focused that I ignore the physical lots of times and I just go on fumes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get this thing done in the next 2 hours. And it's 4 a.m. And I don't get to bed till 6 and I wreck up my physical, but I got the stuff done. I've got to keep my motivation in line with the physical and knowing to back up so I can have a long-term success in the things that I accomplish and want to get done. So that's what I'll tell people. If your energy level is at 80% of what it was yesterday, give 100% of the 80%. If it's 30%, give 100% of the 30%. But you want to come into the gym 100% so you can give 100% of the 100%. And that's the way I see my day. I joke and clown and do all these things, but I'm very serious with my energy. And I'm not going to allow anybody just to take my energy away like that and just hand it away. This is why this guy that has this blog on, what is his name? Oh God, Valuetainment. I listen to him a lot. And he was saying the other day, he says the biggest thing to kill your spirit and your time is you wake up next to your phone and you start looking down the Facebook timeline. It's like a deflated balloon. And this gives energy or this gives opportunity for the negative forces to come into your life and steer your vehicle that the Creator gave you to go down the road of life to wherever they want it. Your life is not like you're sitting in a boat going up the creek with no paddle, that whichever way the winds blow, you go. You can have days where you coast. You can have days where you say, you know what? I'm not going to be this super motivated person every single day. I'm going to chill today. I'm going to put a little money in my pocket and I'm just going to tool around town and see what I can get into. You've detached yourself from that motivated, positive dynamo to give yourself a break. That's good. Sometimes I leave my cell phone at home and take a walk and don't even know where I'm going. See what I mean? I have an idea, but I go. I don't want to be Lancescurv every day. I love being me, but sometimes you have to get out of yourself to regenerate, right? It's not like you chop a leg over and it pops back. But yeah, your enthusiasm can come back. A lot of times in this world, we get burnt out. And then we hear the whisperings of these negative energies who act like they're concerned for us. Oh, you look a little worn down. You sure you're okay? And you know what it is, but they keep acting like they're concerned with you. But even them acting that way, they keep pummeling you with this negative energy. It's all right. I'm just having a down day. Are you sure you're not doing too much and all that you do? Because see, they're trying to attack the very thing that you do. I'm passionate about all the things I do. You see what I mean? And there's some people I've encountered that have a problem with that. And they want to try to stop you from doing what you're doing. That's a demonic entity. Because if you were doing what you had to do for yourself, you'd be applauding my efforts and I would be applauding your efforts, and you wouldn't be coming at me trying to get me to stop the thing that I'm doing. Because you ain't doing nothing, and it's showing you up. See, I'm not in a pissing contest with anybody, and nobody here should be in that. Yes, we look for guidance. We look for research. We look out into the world to see how we're doing. That's not a pissing contest. You're seeking growth. You're trying to see what other people are doing to see if you're on par with what to excel to be who you are. Yes, that's why they have YouTube tutorials. But when you're sitting there not focused on anybody else except this one person or these few people that you don't like what they're doing because they get joy out of it, and they have a body of work behind them. See, that's what they don't like. Because see, when you get into these ages, it's a whole different ballgame. You'll learn certain things. You see, when you're a child or when you're younger, say you're even in your early 20s, and you go to a church or you're part of some type of group or whatever, and you say, surely people in their 50s don't think like this. People in their 60s don't think like this. Well, I'm here to tell you, that's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. Because it's just as much booty calls going on in the 60s and in the 70s. There's just as much jealousy going on in the 60s and in the 70s. There's just as much people coveting what you have. They ain't got no man, so they want to take the next woman's man. They don't want to face the fact that there's consequences that they've got to face from the choices that they made. So now we in take and destroy phase. So there's a lot of older men and a lot of older, sweet looking, talking little old ladies who got the venom in them. And they're bitter because they know they're getting up in years, and they're perfect recruits for these demonic forces to do their work. And they will go to the ends of the earth to take and rape and rob and destroy what you have. They don't even get the satisfaction that they get what they think they want. They've been used by these negative energies. You see what I mean? So listen, I'm going to talk more about this probably tomorrow. I'm going to sign off a little early today. We didn't have any power outages. Don't let me speak too soon. All of a sudden, blink. But this is something I can talk about every single day, and I will reframe the title and come with the continuation of what I spoke today, because I didn't really go in the way I wanted to, but the time is flying, and I have to say, and I can say it publicly, I Just Stars the Mindset is arriving to Ghana tonight. I'm going to be there at the airport to meet him. I'm going to videotape it, and we're going to be around each other for the next 2 weeks. I'll give him his space, but we're going to do like a lot of videotaping and stuff. And he came here to work. And this is the first time he's been to the motherland. So I'm going to go there with him, make sure he's set at his room and stuff, hang out with him for a little bit. And I'm going to come on in, but I'm going to still do a couple of shows up until a certain time. I'm not going to say what time I'm going to be there, I ain't trying to run into some nutcases that's like saying I'm a Scientology agent or something. Imagine that. I had to cuss them guys out years ago when they were calling me to join their group back in '84. Come on. Really? Oh, God. The things that people say. I didn't even have a chance to acknowledge the chat room. I just want to sign off and not acknowledge the chat room and see some of the comments because, you know, when I get in a row like this, I can't look at the chat room sometimes because I get distracted. Not that it's a distraction. It's just that, you know, if I have something to say, I got to say it and I got to focus on saying it. You know what I mean? Let me see here. A little comments here. See what's catching my eye. Exactly. Right. Like what Tracy said, I'm not brave enough to leave my phone at home. I understand, though. I understand. It's scary, though, too, right? Because things can happen, you know. Okay. Let me see. Let me just go down the list. NFN Shock and Raymond Tinch, Sister Oyala. Who else? Of course, Jack Griffin. Okay, I might miss somebody because the computer's a little far away from me. I am moving forward. Yes, Tracy J. I'm retarded, so I might say some names all over again. Julia Nassa. We have still got to do a conversation. It's just been like that. And I got this new phone, but I'm quite sure I still have your number in it. Linda Petty. Glad you're here. Yes, indeed. The Lola Ruler. I had to look at that again. Brother Raw in the house, keeping it raw always. Ruth near you. Is it near you or knee? I don't know, but Ruth. I'm over here squinting. And A's look like O's and B's look like the letter 8. Got to get a pair of glasses again. Everyday King. Welcome in. Much love. Landon Price, as always. And Brandon Walden. Landon and Brandon. I'm glad you all are here. I'm glad. I love vibing with everybody here. And like I said, I'm going to sign it off right now. I enjoyed having you here. I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today it was 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because I needed more time to do what I had to do. And I've been having these dreams of snakes and alligators and stuff. When I do, I have to be on high alert because those dreams never let me down, you know, and you just have to be on point because when you're heading toward, or put it this way, and not to sound so churchy. Sherelle, how are you? Yes, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, but that's the thing. You know, these entities know when you have goodness coming to you, right? Yeah, tomorrow we're going to talk about evil church folk. You gave it to me. I'm going to make that link tonight and set it up just to show you that I mean it. Evil church folk. It's a short title. Not to say all church folk are evil. Many are misled, but we're going to talk about the evil church, the church folks and the evil that they do, but I'm going to call it evil church folk. So the evil church folk going to be listening. I ain't never heard that Lancescurv before, but he be getting on the church. So you know what? He going to talk, we going to get him. I know what he was doing back then in 1987. Yeah, I know what I was doing too, and I'll tell you all about it. I ain't got no shame in my game. He was up in there with them 5 women all weekend. I know what he was doing, but he ain't no man of God. Never claimed to be. But I'm getting better. Always try to bring up stuff in your past that they're going to shame you, make you run back. I ain't running back for nothing. You know, I don't run from that. I dare somebody to come at me that way. I dare you. What could you tell me? What are you going to say? I'll agree if it was true. Pretty much I think it was. Huh? You ain't going to shame me. I own that. I don't keep it and own it, but I own down to that. Yes, I did those things. And your point is, and again, there's going to be somebody that comes into the comment section of this video. You talking like that, but you ain't no pastor, and you ain't this. Look, I told people I wasn't that way. Just like that woman who came and said, oh, you need to speak about the deadbeat dads or whatever. The show wasn't about that. Okay? But evidently I said something that smashed her toe. I stepped on her foot the wrong way, or maybe the right way, and she was made to face something that was in her life in the past. Me, I face my stuff. Bring it up. I'll tell you more about it than any gossiping person can tell, Because I got a lot of representatives out here that are not condoned by me, that just swear they know my story. They may know parts of it. They may save recordings and forwarded emails and all. I mean, they okay, fine. But you don't know the whole. Yeah? So never walk in fear of these people who think they know you. Even if they know 99.999% of you, they don't know you. They know that version of you. If you was with me in 1987, 86, 85, 1990, 89, all that stuff, you don't want to know what I was doing. I was doing what I thought was fun. I was risking my life. But we evolve, and the person that you are now is not that person that you were. That's like somebody running around talking, man, I got this brand new Benz, man. I got a Benz. Well, hell, I had a Benz, but it was an older Mercedes Benz. So I'm not gonna run around, yeah, I had a Benz, like getting the top of the line new thing. This person bragging about they got a Benz this old 1960, can't even restore it. It's sitting on crates. I knew a dude who bragged about the car he had and got the keychain with it. And in the club, jiggling the keychain, and the car never ran. It was on crates in his yard. Well, you know, right now we're just doing a little restoration, you know, making it seem like he was putting money into it. Negro, you couldn't even get the engine done over to put it in and make it run. I'm not making fun of people. I'm just saying that sometimes we're so deceptive. It's crazy. But yes, I will be back tomorrow at that time. Even if I'm out, I might do it on the phone. I like moving around. I talk better when I move around. You know what I mean? So I kind of discovered that. I just want the audio to be right. But also, too, I like being by my equipment because I like to have the music come on and everything like that and do everything the right way. But I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your support and for all the shows that we put out. I do this 24/7, even when my body tells me to go to sleep. Many a night or in the morning, I fall asleep. Mr. SCURV is like, wake up. My face is in a plate of food. My face is on a keyboard. My head is being propped up by a mic. I'm like, oh, I've been sleeping here for 3 hours. What happened? I got to get better with that, though. I got to preserve myself. I'm entering into that senior citizen status, so I want to enjoy life. But I enjoy this. I enjoy you all. This is added on to my life, this hobby that I do, and I hope you get something out of it. Realize you can come. And Brother Raw, you got to get you on here, man. You another one, brother. Got to get you on here when you're ready. Because it's not just about me. It's a mosaic of all of us. Even if we're at different points in life and we don't understand where the person is coming from, we let them talk. Some people chastise me, man, you let that person come in, and I know you don't believe in the same thing they believe, but you need to know what people, let them talk. Let us learn. We can get something out of it. We might not agree with 99% of what they say, but that 1% might be the part of the key that unlocks our ignorance to a new way of seeing things in a new life. This is how we have to do. We learn from each other. Yes, Ruth, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm always going to do this. There'll be times where I have to postpone or even cancel. That's life. But I'm here, and I want to vibe with you live. And sometimes I'm going to do it 2 times a day, 3 times a day. Who'll see? We'll see, right? But I'm going to go now. I'm going to have some other stuff to upload, and I'll do some other stuff. I'll probably record something in the airport with Brother Aja Stars and show that Journey reality TV style, you know, TV show style. We're going to do it that way. You know, many chapters, brother. That's right. Many chapters. And you are the author of your book. You don't let anybody get their hand on your pen and try to write the chapters for you. Because only you know what you're thinking. You know your motivations, and you know who you are. How is it that some people, now look, we know people. We know people in life for decades. But how is it that some people claim to know you so well when we don't even know ourselves? Look, how many times, I ain't never going to do that. I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. And we get to a point that doesn't mean something bad. And we do it. You go, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. See, you just learned something about yourself when you thought you knew yourself 10 years ago. Right? And I always say it, your favorite food. When was your favorite food your favorite food? You didn't know that your favorite food was your favorite food at one time until somebody forced it on you. You thought it was nasty, and you took a bite. Oh, I've been missing. Get me another order there. Man, this is my favorite food. And you tearing it up more than them. Who suggested it to you? So we have to leave the door open to explore ourselves and to learn ourselves, because this is a journey. Doesn't mean because you hit a certain age, well, there's all I need to know about myself. We are our own inner universe. You'll be finding things out about yourself until the day you're called off this earth and on this level. You should want to. And when you have the time to, explore yourself. Don't be afraid to be an individual, because you are an individual. In this day and age, it's all about being a cookie cutter personality. I'm not going to do that. I come from the old school where you putting the part in the right side of your hair, and we in the barbershop together. I'm putting the part in the left side. You know, I'm like I said yesterday, I come from the days of marshmallows, gabardines, and little print shirts and whatever have you. We were young men in elementary school keeping ourselves up. Now, to be stink is the cologne. To be musty is the perfume. Pants sagging, musty underwear, stains in the underwear. I don't understand it. Call me old school, but I'm gonna always be that way. You cross every T and you dot every I. I'm from the day that they didn't have spell check. You had to write, and you had to go to the dictionary, and you had to finish that paper on one side. You couldn't run 2 sentences on the other side. Wasn't acceptable. And you better fill up that whole paper. So 3-4 lines before you finish that paper, you need to be figuring out how you come down to a smooth landing to put that period on the last line on the right side of the paper. That's the school I come from. Spell check, when I get around them, you know, I never won a spelling bee, but I come in second place 4 times in elementary school. You know what I mean? So I'm no dummy. I may talk like one sometime. See, but I'm old school. I'm into doing it. So I don't need all of this extra stuff that the cyber world offers to aid me in doing what I can think. I'm a thinker. I never stop thinking. My brain wakes me up in the middle of the night sometimes. Hey, you know, Lance, this is what we're thinking. Really? I thought you were asleep. Shoot. My brain is like a multiplex theater. You can leave one movie and go to the next one. Even as I'm talking now, I'm thinking 4 different things. Anyway. You know I have a good time. I'm like them old church ladies in the back of the parking lot. The service ended 4 hours ago, and they still back there talking because I don't want to leave, but I got to. And like I said, much love to you all. Much love to everybody. I'm going to head on out, play a little music. I got to load other songs in this, and I have some loaded in the thing, but I'm just going to play this one and just get ready and get out of here. For me, it's actually 5:27, and believe it or not, I got to be at the airport in 2 hours. Ooh, I gave away the time. I said I wasn't going to do that. Anyway, take care. Much love to you all. So long.
John Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked onto his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling with the goat. We landed here in Jamestown, Virginia, 400 years to suffer. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is black man hell. when the slave master wanted to have some sport, he would heap on our parents cruelties of the worst sort, burn them at stake, hang them on trees. His ears were deaf to our parents' pleas. Though you were pregnant, black woman, you pull the plow like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. His half-white children you were made to breed. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell. So-called Negro, open up your eyes. Black man everywhere is on the rise. He has kicked the white man out of Asia, and he's going fast out of Africa with every ounce of strength and breath. His cry is give us liberty or give us death. The whole black world has their eyes on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. So my friend, it's easy to tell, our unity will give the white man hell. God made a promise to Abraham, his seed would be a stranger in a foreign land. They would suffer and be afflicted 400 years, but he would come and wipe away their tears. Our God and Savior, Allah has come. He has declared the white man's day is done. He has given us a divine messenger, one prophesied to come. His name is Elijah. We now can stand up, the whole world to tell. Our God has come to give us heaven and take the devil into hell. Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly. Before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, He gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China he took silk and gunpowder. From India he took jute, manganese and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold. Raping, robbing and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. With tricks and lies he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell.
Going out my mind, I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain holds you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like, oh yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out of my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. I just can't stop thinking about you. I just can't stop thinking about you.